Imagine getting approved for a business credit card at 0% interest and it doesn't even touch your credit report. I've helped hundreds of business owners secure over 100,000 on average in business credit at 0% interest, using some of my experience as a former business banker for Wells Fargo. Now, if you want to unlock a lot of 0% interest business funding options with soft pulls, go down below and get my high limit funding engine course. It shows you how to build the perfect credit profile that banks can't resist because a 700 score just isn't enough. And this will help you even if you've been denied before. But here's the tricky part. Not all soft pulls are actually soft pulls. And most business owners find this out the hard way. I'll show you exactly how to avoid this mistake later on in the video. So first off, what does a soft pull really mean? It really just means that the banks are going to take a peek at your credit scoring report without any impact to your credit score. Now, a hard pull, on the other hand, is a full inquiry and your score can drop anywhere from 3 to 10 points. And I've personally seen business owners get declined just because of having one inquiry too many. Like a client that got denied at Wells Fargo just because that person had 2 recent inquiries. The reason for that is because too many recent inquiries tell the banks that you are shopping around for credit, and they don't really like to see that, even if your score is still in the upper 700s. Now let's talk about why 0% APR makes a real difference for you and your business. The first thing is it gives you anywhere between 6 to 12 months and sometimes longer than that in interest-free capital. That's money that you don't have to pay any extra cost to use. So essentially, it's the same thing as using cash. Now this is perfect if you need to buy inventory for your business, if you need to run ads for your business, or some of the other cash intensive things that you need for your business. You can spend that money and not have to worry about paying extra money on top of what you spent. Now that's quite different from what most business owners try to do, which is when they try to go get credit, they're trying to go get a loan or a line of credit, which you are guaranteed to pay interest on. And also a lot of business owners use their personal cash, their savings and the money in their checking account or in their investment accounts to get started because they know there's no interest usually on that money outside of the 401k, of course, which has fees that you'll pay. But if in the beginning stages of your business, you make too many mistakes, you can go broke and lose all that money you saved up. This is why using the bank's money at 0% interest is such a big game changer. So let's talk about some of the different types of soft pull business cards that are out there. So there is the Brex card, which is a corporate card. And with this, you can get with a soft pull. There is also the Bill corporate credit card, which is connected to Divvy. They do a soft pull on your Experian on the personal and business side. And again, this is a corporate card, so this doesn't even have a personal guarantee or report to your personal credit report. Neither does Brex, by the way. Now, another option you have for soft pulls is going to be American Express. Now, with American Express, you do have to have a product with them already in order to not get that hard pull on your credit report. So as long as you have a credit card on the personal side, then the cards on the business side, you'll be able to get with just a soft pull. Also, if you have a business account with them, you get the same benefit. And American Express does a soft pull on Experian. Now, another place that you can go, which isn't available everywhere like Amex is or the first 2 corporate cards that I mentioned, is Citizens Bank. If there is one that is in your area, then this is a bank that you can also get approved for a business credit card with and get a soft pull just to get that approval. They usually check Equifax, but in some areas they do check Experian. So those are 4 options that you can use for business credit. And if you want to learn how I help the client get approved for the Bill corporate card with a brand new business that didn't have any revenue and not a lot of cash on hand, which is contrary to what they would usually approve, then stick around. Now, something that you need to know is that some banks offer pre-qualification, which is a soft pull up front. Now, the warning here that you need to be aware of is that pre-qualification is not a guaranteed approval. And that leads me into some of the hidden mistakes that you want to avoid. And the first one is believing in those soft pull ads or pop-ups that you see without reading the fine print on them. Most people see those things and then they automatically assume, okay, if I do this, then I'll go ahead and get this approval without any effect to my credit score. Now, the part that you don't know that's usually in the fine print is that if you actually accept the offer, then you will end up getting a hard pull. So that means you do the pre-qualification. They say, okay, you're approved. Maybe they tell you what your limit might be. And then they ask you if you want to accept the offer or not. But then as soon as you accept the offer, then that's when the hard pull happens on your credit report. Now, the ones that I mentioned to you, those 4 cards, those are a genuine soft pull the whole way through. But you definitely want to read the fine print whenever you see something talking about a pre-qualification and a soft pull. And also, don't go applying for any type of credit, whether it be a soft pull or a hard pull, unless you have already checked your credit profile to see what is on your credit report. Because while you might know the last things that were on there, if you have not checked your credit report in months, there can honestly be some things on there that you did not know about. I had somebody in the past, they were about to apply for a house, hadn't checked their credit report in over a year and just went to apply and didn't even know that a medical collection had popped up on their credit report and it got them denied. So always make sure you're staying on top of what is on your credit report every month, and especially before you apply for something. Now let's talk about how to maximize your approval odds before you do anything. The first thing you need to do is strengthen your credit profile. And I'm talking about your personal profile specifically. Because as I mentioned, it's not just about what your score is. If you're checking Credit Karma, your score might be more inflated than what it really is in the first place. And outside of that, even having a 750 plus credit score, your profile might not meet the criteria that most banks want to see before they approve you for any type of business credit, and especially business credit in higher amounts. And again, below, check out my high limit funding engine, which will show you the exact blueprint that banks want to see before they approve you and approve you for higher limits on any type of business funding. It covers everything that most people overlook before they go in to apply for business credit. Another thing you need to do to maximize your approval odds is to build business credibility. Now, all of this ties into things like having your business filed as an LLC, having your EIN number, having a business checking account, and in the instance of those corporate credit cards, having consistent revenue and high amounts of money saved in your bank account is what's going to really help you out in those instances. And you'll come to find out that when you're trying to get approved for funding for your business, it is a layered process. It's not just about credit score. It's not just about credit profile. It's not just about business credibility. It's a lot of different things that go into the equation to ensure that you not only get approved, but you get approved for higher amounts. Another thing you want to do is sequence your applications strategically. You don't want to just be out here shotgunning applications at the bank that's closest to you or at the bank that you already use. It's based off of what banks are going to be the best banks to go to get the most money. What order should you go to those banks in based on your credit situation? Because, maybe you have a bureau on your credit report that has more inquiries than the other. Maybe one account has some negative things on it where the other ones don't. Maybe the bank that you want to go to first is going to check a credit bureau that another bank that you would have went to will also check, and you need to make sure that there aren't too many inquiries before you go to the bank that will give you more money. It's a lot of different things that go into figuring out what is going to be the best sequence to do, but you definitely need to approach it with a strategy versus just randomly going to whatever banks come to your mind or the first bank that you see. So what if you've already been denied? Is it over? It can actually be your biggest advantage if you know how to play it. Watch this next video and I'll show you how to recover from denials and still potentially walk away with high limit approvals. Or watch this next video and see how I help the client overcome the odds with a 2-month-old business, no revenue, and a bankruptcy, still get $5K from Divvy. And I'll see you in the next video.